Can you paint with all the colors of Saiyans? Hey guys, MasterCoX here. With the introduction of Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black, we now have the complete set of Power Rangers Super Saiyans, both in colour and in presentation. They all actually mean different things, and to the average viewer, it must seem all really arbitrary.
I mean, it's just a bunch of colours. I mean, what's it got to do with everything, really?
Thanks to a very learned user on my Discord, Havarok, I believe I've got some interesting facts for you. In my Super Saiyan Rose explanation video, which you can find a link to in the description and up top, I uncovered that the reason why his hair is actually pinkish in colour has something to do with the colour of a rose, as well as all the hidden connotations behind it. It was a way of marking a celebration, a revelation in power that Goku Black and Zamasu had discovered, and they wished to rub it in the faces of Goku and Vegeta. Now that still stands, but I believe there might be even more evidence as to why Goku Black's hair colour was what it was. Toriyama has always tried to mix Western culture with Eastern culture and try and come up with some sort of hybrid, which is what we see in the Dragon World. From nods to the Alien franchise to, of course, Journey to the West. I mean, what anime doesn't refer to that? There are multiple examples of references of literal, visual, and mental stimuli that has actually pierced Toriyama's psyche over the years. Thanks to Havarok's findings, we are going to be heading into theory territory with this video. It's gonna be good. I'm personally excited. So Havarok out there, thank you. So, what are the colours of Saiyan hair that we are most familiar with as of Dragon Ball Super episode 92? Well, first off, there is the quintessential gold/yellow hair colour of the Super Saiyan, which has been granted to anyone who is a Saiyan or Saiyan descendant that has been able to tap into that primal power, aka the most merchandisable trope that you could possibly imagine. Then there is the reddish-pink hair colour of the Super Saiyan God, which was granted to Goku in the Battle of Gods movie, as well as Vegeta if you count the manga in these findings. Then we have Super Saiyan Blue from the Resurrection F movie onwards, which is slowly becoming more and more profitable each and every day, whilst also becoming less and less special. Then there is the Super Saiyan Rose form used by Goku Black, or to give it its full name, thanks Cineverse, Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black. At least it's less of a tongue twister than Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. Then we mustn't forget, of course, the colour black. The colour of Saiyan hair as well as their descendants. So long as Bulma ain't your mama, in which case, her genes will dominate yours, just like in real life. Now I have a theory as to why the Saiyan hair colour might be black, and it doesn't have to do with genetics. I believe it has something to do with colour symbolism. Now, I studied a lot of this during my time in university for my graduation piece. It all culminated in a 6-part video series that actually got some good marks, and it's actually on my YouTube channel if you wish to go and look for it. I'm not going to leave a link to it because it's quite old and I'm slightly embarrassed about it, but if you do find it and decide to watch it, then enjoy. What I learnt back then was that colours are extremely emotive, filled with hidden messages and meanings. Black auras and energies tend to denote hate, malice, anger, and vengefulness. All traits that are present in a typical Saiyan. Well, except Goku and pretty much modern Saiyans. We're talking pre-age 737. Saiyans built their empire on destruction and malice, all just for the sake of a quick buck. When they were destroyed by the hands of Lord Frieza, Vegeta was filled with malice and desired revenge against his fallen race. And that feeling is still present in Vegeta to this day. So already, colour has a strong association with Saiyan physiology. To further analyse it, we need to look more on a spiritual level. Havarok's research took me to this diagram, the 7 chakras. Now, chakra is more than just explaining away your basic anime shonen character's power. It has a far more deeper meaning than that, something that you can use in your everyday life. By delving into these 7 chakras, we can easily interpretate the possible meanings of all the Super Saiyan hair colours that currently exist, as well as predicting future Super Saiyan hair colours potentially. The reason why I'm going into this is because Asia is a very big believer of colour and meaning. Colours can have all kinds of meanings in whatever type of field you wish to put them in, not only just in the philosophical and the spiritual. The website Zen Lama describes the chakra system. The 7 chakras are the energy centres in our body in which energy flows through. A chakra is like a whirling vortex-like powerhouse of energy. Within our bodies, you have 7 of these major energy centers and many more minor ones. You can think of chakras as invisible rechargeable batteries. They are charged and recharged through contact with the stream of cosmic energy in the atmosphere, in much the same way that your home is connected to a central power source within a city. The only difference is that this cosmic energy source is free. The 7 major chakras are in the center of the body. So this cosmic energy could be referring to the energy that all of our characters tap into within Dragon Ball. They call upon this energy at any time, so that means they can tap into the power inside of them and just let it loose. Now already if you look at this diagram, some of these colours might be familiar to you. Now please note, this list of chakra and colours are not necessarily in a particular order. It's more to do with different stances and different emotional states of mind. First off, we have point 1, the root, or Muladhara, which is coloured in red. This is the beginning of Goku's spiritual journey when he unlocked the powers of the Super Saiyan God and first touched the power of God Ki. Just like the core of Mother Earth, it pulses and swells with bright crimson radiant heat. That red is a clear sign of visceral primitive power. It's the sparking place for big blasts of raw creation. When you see red, consider a sonic boom of powerful action propelling you forward. Consider this the spark of action. Make this red heat the seat of your physical/spiritual birth. This is the hot coal of your perception, and it's a great fuel maker for whatever you want to start cooking. This is your first stepping stone to achieving great power, but it is just that, the beginning, the entry point of divinity. Now you remember that Goku felt unsatisfied with this power in the Battle of Gods movie? It wasn't just because he didn't earn it like all of his other powers, it's just the feeling that he got from it on a spiritual and internal level. It was unfulfilling and felt lacking, like there was something more to tap into, which of course we know there is. We then move on to point 3, coloured in yellow, the solar plexus or the Manipura. This colour is the most familiar to us, the Super Saiyan of old, commonly associated with pure anger and rage and could be destructive when it's used in the wrong hands. This chakra is concerned with your digestive system, muscles, pancreas and adrenals. It is the seat of your emotional life. Feelings of personal power, laughter, joy and anger are associated with this centre. Your sensitivity, ambition and ability to achieve are stored here. Blockage may manifest as anger, frustration, lack of direction, or a sense of victimization. Now note that last sentence in particular. Blockages may manifest as anger, frustration, and lack of fulfillment, etc. Does that sound familiar? To become a Super Saiyan, the levels of anger and rage and frustration inside of you have to reach such a critical mass that it purges itself and releases itself as an explosion of anger and power that we see in Super Saiyan. Now, as we've seen many times, the first time anyone unlocks this transformation is the hardest to achieve, as well as the most agitated, even for the Universe 6 Saiyans. It might even explain why they have in particular a tingly sensation in their back whenever they try and unlock this power. You're unlocking your hidden chakra, and in Universe 6, it's a little more visual. Upon reaching this power, you are unlocking many things, both on a physical, emotional, and mental level. You are free, a whole new type of freedom that you've never experienced before. You're just letting loose completely. You know what? I think we might have cracked the origin of Super Saiyan here, people. It's not just a time-saving technique from Toriyama in the manga. It is a true cataclysm, releasing so much pent-up emotion. It's just so obvious now. No wonder it looks so intense. Now to go one step further, we might be able to explain the reason why Broly and Kale's aura is actually tinged with green as well as yellow. Let's move on to point 4, the heart or the Anahata. Right off the bat, in the world of chakra, an unclear green aura or a green aura which is tinged with another colour could imply a state of distorted thinking or unhealed emotional trauma. What do Broly and Kale have in common? Sustained emotional trauma. Broly, of course, had his tumultuous upbringing as well as his near death on planet Vegeta thanks to the hands of Goku crying, as well as his tremendous battle power. I don't know, it still sounds weird to say. And Kale seems to have had a really tricky life leading up to this point in the story of Super, as well as currently being the dog's body of Caulifla. It's not a good life, you could think. The legendary Super Saiyan transformation that we know of must be in a state between Manipura and Anahata, yellow and green, somewhere in the middle. It's a state of flux, which causes a feeling of uncertainty and frustration concerning sorrow and pain. It's just incomplete emotions. This actually might explain why a user that is in this state is practically inconsolable. It doesn't seem so dumb now, does it? Nor does it seem that legendary now when you think about it. Now this is where things get more current. 0.5 or Vishuddha, which is coloured in blue. Now, of course, this is representing Super Saiyan Blue. Now, we know right off the bat that this form is all about ki control and purity and calmness. All of that ki that is usually spewed out in the regular Super Saiyan form is kept within the user or kept directly around it in order to be more efficient and therefore be more effective within battle. Now, on a spiritual level, there is more to why this form is coloured blue. Dabba dee dabba da. It is concerned with the senses of inner and outer hearing, the synthesizing of ideas, healing, transformation, and purification. Blockage can show up as creative blocks, dishonesty, or general problems in communicating one's needs to others. You see? Super Saiyan is all about purifying your power, as well as concentrating it and communicating it more effectively, in this case in Dragon Ball, with your fists. There is a reason why Goku can use the Kaioken technique in this form. He has achieved now a state of calmness and purity that the rage-inducing technique that is Kaioken can be used effectively and with much less risk. Goku couldn't use the Kaioken technique while he was in his Super Saiyan form because rage on top of rage and then more rage? I think that would be overwhelming for any kind of body, even if it is Goku's. He would have been completely and utterly destroyed on all counts. Kaioken Blue is far more attainable and is slightly safer, but it still does have its risks, much like the vanilla Kaioken technique. Also, do you notice that Goku and Vegeta are able to just go into the Super Saiyan form instantly instead of going through all the forms individually? It's because that power is all about stability and purity. It is no trouble to them. They can just turn it on instantly. They can get into that form and tap into it. That's all down to Saiyan muscle memory. Now, of course, sometimes they scream when they go into this form, but that's quite clearly for dramatic effect. It does make it look pretty cool. Then we move on to Super Saiyan Rose, pretty in pink with 0.7, the Crown, or Sahaswara. It is concerned with information, understanding, acceptance, and bliss. It is said to be your own place of connection to God, the chakra of divine purpose, and personal destiny. Blockage can manifest as psychological problems. Connection to gods, acceptance and bliss, psychological problems? That is straight up Zamasu right there. Zamasu within Goku's body, tapping into his Saiyan power, had reached a level of completeness that he'd never experienced before, and he loved it. He couldn't stop bragging to anyone who would listen. Or chose not to listen, he didn't care. Not much to say, really. This state of mind is all about chakra and completion, as well as while he's trying to form it, and all about his stuff about Ningen up until that point was psychological problems because that part of his noggin was blocked, so that does make a lot of sense. Now, I also found this quote on another site about Sahaswara, or the crown point of the chakra, which is just absolutely perfect, so here it is. No experience can compare or relate to this one. We recognize with surreal objectivity that our outward spanning and unfolding petals of consciousness is not an achievement. Rather, the unfolding has been happening all along. It's as if a grand orchestrated momentum of expanding energy has been surging in our conscious background all the time. Simply be because we have always been and our expansion is inevitable. Sounds full of pomp and circumstance, doesn't it? That's what Super Saiyan Rose was all about. Zamasu/Goku Black rubbing in Goku and Vegeta's faces about how awesome he is and how complete he is and how much of a form is just so great, and it was all part of his plan. He just wanted to shout from the rooftops that he was complete. Halloo hallay. It's fascinating to see that all these different colours can have an association with one Super Saiyan form or another. There are still a couple, as of yet unexplained or untouched, colours within this chakra list, which could be different Super Saiyan transformations in the future. Might we see a Super Saiyan Orange or a Super Saiyan Purple in the future? Maybe, maybe not. Either way, I hope this has proven of some interest to you. So what do you guys think? Based on my research, do you think that we'll see other colours of Super Saiyan within Super? Or do you think that's pretty much your lot with what we've seen so far? Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Until the next one, be sure to like and subscribe. Catch you later.